presenter is our chairman, Mr. Afshan Al-Akhani. And as always, if you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to submit them, and we'll get to them at the end of the presentation. So without further ado, Afshan, please take it away.
Good morning. I will be covering today the order processing version 2. We released version 1 in early February, and we are planning to also release version 3 sometime in March of next year. So we took a lot of feedback from what you have said to us in the last 9 months, and added all of those into the version 2. So I'll go ahead and start and show you some of the changes and some of the way that the system looks right now. So the new landing page when you go into our order portal would look like this. And we are right now planning to also redo our whole website that will carry the same look and feel over the next few months. When you enter this, you can go ahead and register, and the register screen will enable you to enter the basic data of your company and register yourself as a company, and then somebody in Retail Realm looks at all of those submitted requests for registration and will get back to you with registration confirmation. You can also then from here go directly to our main website and have a look at any of the news and blogs and other information that are constantly being updated on the website. And for those of you who don't know, we also do have a support website that you can access directly from here, and the Gemini support is where all of the bugs and issues should be filed and communicated with us. Be sure that you have got a registration ID for that site so that you can actually communicate with us. And lastly, the contact page is showing you the contact information for Retail Realm offices around the world so that you know who to contact in case you have got customers in different parts of the world. So when you come to the system and you want to log in, you go to the login page and you enter your user credentials, and that will then give you access directly to the Retail Realm processing portal. And in this particular portal, you will see the layout of it is similar to what you have done before. There is some changes. You will see, first of all, that there are 6 tabs: new orders, open orders, completed orders, support, expiry, import, and my users. So as you click on each one of those, you will get different options made available to you. And on the new order, you see that your distributor right now is Retail Realm, and the reseller, we have said Retail Realm reseller, but it will be what your name. And on the right-hand side, you can either create a new customer or go ahead and search for a customer that already exists. Now, you will also notice that there is a plus sign so that you can collapse information and not have the screen cluttered. If you go ahead and click on the plus sign, it will expand this section. And you also have got an edit button that enables you to access the reseller record, change or update that. So when you click on the edit, you now get a full window solution, and the screen is divided into 2. And I want to go from the left-hand side. You'll see on the top left the name of the reseller, the address, information, come down to telephone and fax and contact. And then you will see that there are 2 emails. There is a primary email and a billing email. And this is up to you to fill that out. One of them is mandatory, the primary email, and you can have 3 emails for primary emails and 3 billing emails just by putting a comma after the email. So you can say sales@rdist.com, comma, and then abc@rdist.com, etc. The billing email is important in that whatever invoices that we get that are financial in nature will send to the billing email. If the billing email is not filled, we will default to the primary email and send you information to that. You will also notice that there is an option now called Auto Send Customer Renewal Notices. We strongly recommend that you notify your customers that their BREP or their maintenance with you is up, and this is a way for you to do that. And on the right-hand side, you will notice that there is a new area where you can actually type in the text of the renewals that you actually would like to send. So there are various macros that can be added into the text. So for example, on the top left of those icons, you will see there is a customer name, then there is a voice account, and there's an existing store, etc. And so you can say dear at the bottom of the text, and then open bracket, customer name, close bracket. That was automatically added by just clicking on the customer name. And that will then, as a macro, pick up the customer name from your customer list that's associated with your account. So in this way, you can create messages in whatever language you want and customize it to yourself. And the message will go out to your customers from you using the primary email address. So it will say whoever it is in your company that is the primary email address, sending it to joe@customer.com, and it will then notify them that their BREP is about to expire and they should be contacting you. Now, we also will see at the bottom left there is a button there for My Users, and as a reseller you could have multiple users from your company that have got access to this portal, and you will then see a list of all of these people that you have working with you on this order portal. And on the right-hand side, you have an option to unassign them if you don't wish them to be having access any longer, if they have left the company or moved on in their job to something else. The New Order tab allows you to search the customer, or you can create a new customer. In this case, I just typed in A, and it shows me everywhere that A is part of the name of the customer. And you will see that the A is bold in the list that shows below. And the first one that we have is AA Supermarket. You will also notice that the voice account number shows to the right-hand side of the name. We do that on purpose so that if, in case you have got the same customer, especially those who have started with RMS in version 1.2 and 1.3, when there were dongles and Microsoft created multiple accounts for each one of those dongles, you may end up having a customer repeated. And if you are to renew a particular customer, we need to know which voice customer you are actually renewing. So we actually will show you the voice number to the right so that you can select the correct customer. Once you have selected the customer, again, you have got an option to edit, and this option to edit enables you to either edit or change. Also, as we said in the very beginning, you could create a new customer directly here. So whether you click on New, whether you click on Edit, you will get a dialog screen that will look something like this. So in the case of the AA Supermarket, you will see in here that they get all of the information for them. So you could say that you want to auto-send the renewal notice to all of the customers, but then you could come under the AA Supermarket and you will see at the bottom left-hand side, right below the language English, there is a tick box that says don't send renewal notice. So you can opt out a particular customer that maybe you're having some issues with and you don't want them to get a renewal notice, so you can opt them out. On the right-hand side, you have got all of the information that comes in from voice, and you need to manually type those in to begin with. We try to keep them up to date as we put the new orders, but you can always change them and edit them as we go along. We can always check with Microsoft to make sure that those informations are correct. And then you have got a business ready enhancement plan or any other plan that they may have. There's a list that you can select from, and what is the support expiry date, so that the renewal notice will be issued a month before the expiry date. So we are in the new order. We have now selected the customer, the AA Supermarket, and we wish to put a new order. So we can go into the new and select the new, and this will open up a dialog box. And in this dialog box, you will then be able to go ahead and select what are the products that you want to order. Now, in the new version, as we go along, we are going to be starting to add under the supplier all of our suppliers like New West Technology and Retail Hero and everybody else whom we have in our catalog. And you can then select them as a supplier, and from them there a list of the products that they have. Now, the list of the product could be overridden. So for some of the customer like RITE, we may have the reseller RITE, we could have RITE being the supplier, and we may have just a generic item, and then you can override that to say, actually, we want to order this particular module of RITE and put the price in. In this case, you see that we are ordering a Microsoft RMS store and also a Microsoft Business Ready Enhancement Plan, and it gives you a total at the bottom right. Please notice that at this stage, all of these numbers haven't been verified by us. So it is whatever number you are entering from different parts of the world, depending on when the customer purchased the original license, since that is protected list prices. So we will always verify that with Microsoft to make sure that this is correct information. You will also notice at the bottom left we have got 4 buttons: save as draft, submit quote, submit order, and cancel. So if you want to cancel and go back, you can. And then as long as you start with an order, the order will usually be saved as a draft until such time as you are ready to submit it to us. So the status is that that we have in here. Draft really is while you are preparing the order and you haven't yet, you're not yet ready to place it with us. So you may have several orders maybe for renewal a few months from now. You may decide to start working on them and keeping them as draft, and then submitting it to us whenever you need to submit it to us. When you have done that, and the system will then allow you to also request a quote. So if there is a particularly complicated customer where you are not sure, what the pricing will be, especially if there is they haven't renewed in a few years and you need to recalculate all of that, you may request us to give you a quote, and we will be happy to do that. And the submit quote will request from us to send you a quote. And as soon as you then say, okay, submit order, at that point you will immediately get a screen that says, are you sure you wish to submit the order? Because once you submit the order, no further changes can be made. And if you say, okay, then the order has been submitted, at which point you can see what you have done on the screen, but you can no longer do any changes. To continue working with this order, you will need to go into open orders. And the open order will show you all of the open orders that you have with us when you placed it and when it will be, what status it is right now. So you will see that there is some filtering with colors, and the filter allows you to look at all of your drafts or look at all of your quotes. And then the products that get submitted and are received to us as submitted will go into pending while we are verifying with Microsoft to make sure that the information you have given us is correct. Sometimes there may be some discrepancies between what Microsoft Voice has and what you have thought was the customer. We will communicate that information with you either via email or directly here in messages that we will send. And once we have placed the order with Microsoft, at which point we will change it internally into in process, which means the order has now been placed. We're just waiting for Microsoft to give us a key and an invoice for it. And as soon as we receive all of that, it will then go into completed order section of the order portal. Also notice that below the color selections, you also have got the columns with the search. So if you have got a lot of orders, especially like at the end of the year when you get Microsoft renewals done, you may have 20, 30 orders that you are tracking. You can always come in here and say, I want to look for a particular customer, and I want to look for customer W&B supermarket, and you can go ahead and type that into the customer, and the system will also search and filter for that particular customer. So the filtering system didn't exist before, and that is a big part. You also see some paper clips there. So if you want to, when you create the order, you have an option to attach your purchase order. So if you want to attach a PDF or a Word document of your purchase order, you can. If we create a quote for you, we will also attach the quote in here as a PDF. And you will have various documents. You can have multiple documents attached to your particular order. Now this is going to be important because also when we complete the order, we will attach an invoice for every order that goes on from here on. You will also notice that at the bottom left there is a word that says red color, means that this order is on credit hold. Now none of the one that we have in here is red, but if you see a line in red and you click on it, it will then give you the reason why this particular order is on credit hold. And it's always a particular order, not the whole account. So if you have a $10,000 credit limit with us and your order number 10 takes you over, the 9 previous orders will be fine, they will be processed. It is only the one that is over the credit limit that will be marked as red, or anything after that. So you will need to contact us and resolve that issue with us before we can move on those particular orders. Everything else will be processed. Now, if you click on the completed orders, similar to the previous one, you have got ability to search for particular completed orders, since this can go for many years worth of orders that you have placed with us. You would notice that all of them have a paperclip, because at the very, very least, every single one of them must have an invoice attached to them. And it also gives you your own reseller purchase order as one of the columns to search for. And that's important so that you can either search it by our reference number or by your own reference numbers. Also, please note that once an order is placed with us, it will automatically send you a notice that this order has been submitted, so that you know that we have actually received this order and we're currently working on it. And this will be the format that the information will come to you. So you can, if you see that there is an error in any of the prices, if that wasn't caught previous to you submitting it to us, you can go ahead and contact us, and we will do our best to resolve that. And you will also notice that as soon as an order has been completed, the only way that the system will allow our order people to finish the orders with the new portal is to attach an invoice. So your invoices will be there, and that will then enable you to historically go back and take any of the invoices that you may be needing that is missing. So all of your invoices from the 17th onwards, for any order onwards, will be attached in here. So not only are they attached, but they also get emailed to you automatically. And they get emailed to whoever is on the billing contact. So again, you can have up to 3 different emails on the billing contact. And if you left that blank, it will be going to your primary email address. The fourth tab here is a support expiry tab. And we have done that for you to be able to see all of the customers that you have currently on record. So on one of the tick mark that you see at the on the 3rd line, top right, right above where it says show 10 records, it says show all records. Currently it's not ticked, so it's only showing the ones that are expired or expiring in the next month. And if you say all records, then it will actually show everybody that you have on your records. So in this case, it shows a list. And if you wish to export this list to Excel so that you can maybe share it in your office to multiple different people who may be in charge, so that you can then decide who should follow up with which customers to see whether they want to renew or not, you can do that. And you can export all of your lists to Excel and manipulate them in Excel and do whatever you want with them. So that list is available. So you do get a report of your expiry, and you can work on that. This import tab, the fifth tab, was added to enable you to either do bulk import of your customers to us, and or at any point in time any number of customers that you want to import to us. So an option is for you to export your list from Microsoft, and then you can try to clean that up to have all of the records that we need. Or you can also use our Excel template that we provide you, and you can by clicking there you will download the Excel template. Once you have done that, you can go ahead and point to the Excel that you would like us to upload, and once you have pointed to that, we will enable you to go ahead and import all of the information from that Excel. Now, when you initially come to this screen, you will see that the salmon color is showing all of the mandatory fields that we would require in order to be able to create a customer record. The white ones are nice to have information but not mandatory. And anything that is mapped correctly will show as green. So what I can do is I say auto map, and that will look for column headers. So as long as the column header of your Excel spreadsheet says voice account, it will automatically pick that. And we have, by the way, selected the column headers based on the column headers that are created from Microsoft when you export your list from voice. Those are the headers that are put there. So you can say, okay, I want to auto map, at which point it says, okay, every information that you have on your Excel is mapped correctly, and it is correct. And I can then go ahead and import that. And I can import that by looking at the bottom left where it has got the next, and click on the next. And the system will then give you a list of the records it's importing. It will also give you a list of the records it doesn't know what to do with. So if you have got some records that are messed up, it will actually tell you these records can't be imported for these particular reasons. So you can view these records and make sure that everything is okay. And if you then click on import, it will give you the confirmation of the fact that you are importing 4 records. And if you want to continue, you can play OK. If you don't, you can cancel. And if you go ahead and say OK, it will give you another positive feedback that you have got 4 out of 4 records successfully imported. We have also created the ability on the last tab, which says My User.